So now it's the last रिवीजन डे फॉर फंक्शन 3 एंड बहुत सिंपल वे में मैं ट्राई करूँगा एक्सप्लेन करने का. सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्ट. सो स्टार्टिंग विथ मार्पोल एनेक्स 1. So first of all we have to name all the annexes in Marpol. Like first is of regulation for the prevention caused by the oil from the ships, and it came into force in 2nd of October 1983. Second is regulation for prevention caused by the noxious liquid substances from the ships. The year it came to force is 6th April 1987. And third one is the regulation prevention by the by substance carried in packaged form, and year is 1992, and the date is around date is I don't this 1st July. Okay, 1st July 1992. And the fourth one is for the sewage pollution, regulation for the prevention by sewage pollution. And the year in which it came was came down, I guess, 2003, 27 September 2003. And then the regulation prevention caused by the garbage, and it came in force in 1988 on 31st December. And regulation prevention caused by the air pollution, the year it came is 19th May 2005. So this is all about annexes. Now what is latest amendment? So as per the latest amendment, there are requirements like Mediterranean Sea is also included in the part of SECA area, so for the sulfur, and as well as for the particulate area. So and that another thing is that the what we say, the another requirement is that the ship sailing in Arctic area cannot use the heavy fuel oil, because the consumption is Arctic area is totally prohibited of heavy fuel oil. So and another thing is that another amendment, like if the vessel is, earlier it was garbage record book has to be maintained by only if the ship gross tonnage is more than 400, but now a ship is having more than 100 gross tonnage also, they need to make a garbage record book. And apart from that, many what I missed is, yeah, bunker delivery note. Like if you are having a in bunker delivery note, it should be written that the flash point measured is more than 70 degrees Celsius. Okay. And another thing is that EEXI and CII has been issued, like for the existing ship. EEXI and CII has to be reported by every ship annually. Okay, and it's been cross verified by the class or by the author or the government authorized by the administration. And another thing is that oil tanker, normal definition. This, how can we say, EXI and stating amendments for appendix on reporting mandatory values related to the implementation of our short term for the, and all this is for the greenhouse reductions. And that's it. Oil tanker. So definition for oil tanker is like any vessel if like designed to carry oil, so that's known as a oil tanker. It includes the other vessel as well. If it is it can able to carry noxious liquid substance, then also it's a oil tanker. And if it's a gas but carry the gas in a liquid form, then it's also a oil tanker. Okay, like it's written clearly, like gas carrier is defined regulation 3 more of chapter 2 of Solar 74 when carrying a cargo of part cargo of an oil in bulk. Okay. Now oil, what is basically oil means a petroleum gases in like in a crude form or a normal sludge form, whatever, it's known as the oil. Oil means petroleum in any form including crude oil, fuel oil, sludge oil refuse or refined products. Okay. Nearest land, so basically from the nearest means from the baseline from which the data is question established. En route means the vessel as in following its course, making a deviation to for the shortest distance like during the time of discharge, the large area has to be covered. What is written mean that a ship is underway on a sea, on a course or courses, including deviation from the shortest direct route for the shortest direct route, which as far as practicable for navigational purpose will cause and discharge to be spread over a great an area of the sea in reasonable and practical. Okay, special area, any sea area recognized by the technical reasons in relation, like any area which is recognized by the authorized, okay, recognized the technical relation to its oceano-economic, ocean, social law, sorry, yeah, I just forgot. Means a sea area where for recognized technical reason in relation to its oceanographic, ecological, and ecological condition, in relation to its oceanographical and ecological conditions, and to the particular character of its traffic, and to the particular character of its traffic. Okay, the adoption of special mandatory method for prevention of pollution by oil, of sea pollution by oil, of sea pollution by oil, for the prevention of sea pollution, by oil. What is instantaneous rate of discharge? Means like if means the rate of discharge of oil in the liters per hour at any instant divided by the speed of the ship in knots at that time. Okay, now clean ballast means the ballast in which the since oil is last carried has been so clean that effluent thereof, if it was discharged from the ship which is stationary into calm water on a clear day, will not produce a visible traces of oil on the surface of the water or on adjoining shorelines, or cause a sludge or emulsion to be deposited beneath the surface of the water or upon adjoining shorelines. Okay, what is segregated ballast? Means the ballast, like a proper arrangement has been made, a proper tank for the ballast is kept up where oil is not been carried. Okay, so what is noxious liquid substance tanker? Means a ship which is liable to carry noxious liquid substances in bulk, or means a ship constructed or adapted to carry a cargo of noxious liquid in bulk, includes an oil tanker as defined in Annex 1 of the present convention and certified to carry a cargo as per. Okay. Okay, this is very common, like if it is outside special area, then it has to be en route, and the discharge will have from the oil filtering equipment, and whatever the residue which you are discharging, the oil fluid content should not be more than 15% ppm, and apart from that, the source of discharge should not be from a cargo space area in an oil tanker, and should not be from a pump room area in an oil tanker. The oil content of the fluid without dilution word I have messed, that will denote 15. Okay, as per regulation 14 I have to tell. Okay, now so only thing in that, like if you are discharging in special area, you have to be as per regulation 14.7, if the ppm exceed 15%, then it should give a alarm, which will, then 15 cannot be maintained provided with automatic stopping devices. Okay, for stopping devices as well as alarm arrangement in this level. Okay, and in special area, sorry, in and in oil tanker, if is first of all, the discharge in the special area is totally prohibited, and if you are discharging outside the special area, the vessels should be at least 50 nautical miles from the nearest land, and the vessel should be en routed, and vessel should be like the instantaneous rate of discharge should not exceed 30 liters per nautical miles, and the total discharge should not be more than 1 by 30,000 of the total cargo contained, and the other thing is that it should have a proper ODMCS and slop tank arrangement, and the vessel should have something I messed up in starting. 50 nautical miles is not in the tanker is proceeding. They say Okay, everything I said. The first point is special area, then 50 nautical miles from the nearest line and route. Then does not 30 liter 1/30. The tanker has an operation, discharge, monitoring, control. Okay, ठीक है. As per regulation 29 and 31 of the annexure. SOPEP is a requirement as per the regulation 37 of MARPOL Annex 1, which says that any vessel which are having more than like capable of carrying more than oil tanker of more than 150 tonnage are required to have a SOPEP. SOPEP is basically a plan. As per SOPEP is a plan basically followed as per the convention, and it comprises of the reporting procedures for the master or in charge of in case of spill is the person who is reporting, and as per the regulations of this convention. And apart from that, it comprises of the actions of the person of individual person to take in oil spillage, and it also contains the list of the contact. It basically contains the contact list details in case of an emergency, and it also contains details for the point of contact on board ship for combating the spillage with the local authority or the show persons. And it basically all includes all the inventory of the SOPEP, and it basically all your GA plan, pumping plan is all in it. Content of SOPEP manual. Content of SOPEP manual is such that like it comprises of preambles, actions per every person's, reporting procedures, arrangement on board for combating it, like pumping and pumping discharge, and the inventory of your SOPEP equipment on board. What is this? Right? Reporting requirements, step to control discharge, national and local coordinations, appendices, contact, visible informations, oil spill response on board, oil spill response, oil vessels response team, organization. Okay. What is IOPP? IOPP is basically a certificate required by as per Annex 1 for the tankers and non-tankers. Like basically, it certifies that the ship construction, design, equipment and arrangement are as per the Annex 1 regulation for prevention of oil, and it basically has the two supplement as well for Form A and Form B along with the certificate, where A is for the non-tankers and B is for the tankers. Basically, content is such that it comprises of the particulars and the equipment which is for the control of discharge of oil from the fuel tanks or a machinery area, and for the if it comprises of the oil discharge connection, standard discharge connection, and ways of retention of oil on board from the bilge water for the bilge water, and the holding tank for the bilge water, and ways of retention of oil from the fuel oil tanks after sludge and all, and SOPEP plan equivalent. And for oil tankers, it has many other things like segregated ballast tank, double hull, and it comprises of the SOPEP slop tank arrangement, SOPEP plan, and crude oil washing arrangement and retentions of the residues, and many more things like it basically particulars of the equipment for the means for retention and disposal of oil residues, but a standard discharge shipboard oil, segregated accidental or intact stability, subdivision, damaged stability. These three things we have to remember. Okay, intact stability, subdivision, damaged stability, pumping, pipings. Okay, coming to oil record book management. So oil record book is part 1 is required as per the Annex 17 of the MARPOL, that Annex 1. Basically, it for the every ships for 400 gross tonnage and above, and oil tanker for 150 and above. It's basically all the records of the discharge from the like machinery area, and it comprises of the detail of the bunkering operation, and oil transfer in fuel tanks, cleaning of fuel tanks, ballasting of fuel tanks, deballasting fuel tanks, and internal transfer, and cleaning of bilge, holding retentions of the bilge. So basically, what are you ballasting or cleaning of oil fuel tanks, discharge of dirty ballast, clean from fuel collection, disposal of oil residues, discharge overboard otherwise from bilge water, machine space, bunkering. Okay. So and this is annex 2 is for the cargo tanks and all. It's same. And the special area is such as the Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Red Sea, Northwestern European water, Gulf of Aden, Baltic Sea, and southwestern, southern South African waters, and say Gulf of Oman, and that's it. So now what I have missed: Oman area, Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Gulf area, Gulf of Aden, Antarctic area I have missed. Okay, Antarctic area, and rest every time I told. Oily water separator. Okay. So working principle is still not asked. What is VRP? So what is the requirement for this slop tanks? VRP is basically a SOPEP plan only, but it's the main difference between SOPEP and VRP is that only because of the jurisdiction. VRP comes under the US government. US is for the USCG. It comprises of the details, whatever plan we have on board for the oil spillage, and like whatever the details of the owner, details of the company, and all the zones ship is about to sail in US water. And this is approved by the USCG. The plan is approved by the USCG, and that's all. It's all about VRP plan. The information that such as the call sign, name, contact information for vessels owner, list of zones, and the coast must for the main difference between the SOPEP. On the other hand, SOPEP are internationally, whether SOPEP are internationally required by the IMO. What is OPA? It's a Oil Pollution Act in 1990. It says that every vessel should have a double hull, double water tank, and it is authorized for the civil liability fund. So whatever barrels per barrels the ship sailing in US have to pay tax, and this tax will be given to those in case of any accidental discharge and all. So OPA is authorized for that, and the main thing of OPA is to look after for oil spillage in US waters. They are concerned about the environment. So what is on May 1999? Okay, Congress voted to pass OPA, and shortly after this the Oil Spillage Act amended the Federal Water Pollution Act and respond to and pay for the oil spill. The Oil Pollution Act amended the Federal Water Pollution Act. A ship facility carrying oil must provide documents showing how the plan of preventing, like we have to show plan. Additionally, the party must have a comprehensive emergency on board inside. Okay. Vessel general permit for the basically are formed by the EPA, that is Environmental Protection Committee of IMO. It says that like if the ship sailing in US water should have any interfaces between the oil and water should have the lubricant which we are using should be environmentally friendly, that is environmentally acceptable lubricants. So it should be a biodegradable and should be non-bioaccumulative, and it should be environmental friendly. So like we use in stern tube seals. EPA indicates agency, not committee, Environment Protection Agency in US only. Okay, it's in US only, came into force 2013. The VGP mandate the use of environmentally acceptable lubricants. Okay, and inland waters. EPA indicates that every oil center has to use environmentally acceptable lubricants. Okay, so XYZ is common. Normal requirement is for XYZ is 25 meter depth, 12 meter from the nearest land, 7 knots. It's not self-propelled, 4 knots, and the discharge should be from the underwater discharge outlet, underwater below the water line basically. So what is the word for that? Discharge below the water line. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. This is all about. And the Antarctic Sea area is the only special area. List of amino recorded with operational. So cargo, they have a cargo record book, and the details are such as loading cargo, internal transfer of cargo, unloading of cargo, mandatory pre-wash, and cleaning of cargo tank except for mandatory discharge into the sea of tank washings, ballasting of cargo tanks, discharge of ballasting from cargo tanks. Basically, it's a oil record book part 2 only, and this is required as per Annex 15. Annex 15, Regulation 15. Okay, now what is PNA manual? PNA manual, as the name suggests, as a procedure and arrangement manual, is for Annex 2. Whatever discharge we are making of noxious liquid substance is as per the PNA manual regulations, and like it comprises of the procedure and arrangement, helps the officers to know what all procedure and arrangement they have to make for any kind of stripping, discharging of the noxious liquid substance or ballasting, deballasting of that area where noxious liquid was carried out. So this is all about PNA manual, and PNA manual is basically content or such as like it comprises of all the pumping arrangement for ballasting, pumping arrangement for cargo tank, pumping arrangement for the slop tank as well, and it comprises of the discharge operation for below the waterline that influence, and what all below the waterline, discharge below the waterline and noxious liquid substance, and comprises of all the, we say, particulars of ship. Basically, it comprises of particulars of the ship, general arrangement, substances allowed to be carried, cargo tank, overflow connections, description of dedicated slop tank, or description I have to. Okay. Great. It's comprised of description of cargo tank ventilation system as well, and the master shall ensure that no discharge into the sea. Okay. First is list all regulations which apply regarding PNA manual, and details regarding okay, and the last is cargo unloading procedure and tank stripping, providing unloading and stripping procedure for ships, and so stripping and procedure relating to the cleaning of cargo tank. Okay. So what is SEMPEP? SEMPEP more or less is a kind of shipboard marine emergency. SEMPEP, shipboard marine pollution emergency plan. It's kind of SOPEP only, but for noxious liquid substances. And if any oil tanker whose regulation 37 is followed and carry a noxious liquid substances, then they should have a plan, both combined, known as SEMPEP. Regulation 39. I guess if they ask, then I will tell you, otherwise. For sewage, we know what is the requirement for knots and all, speed and all. The ship has an approved sewage treatment plan, and the certificate should completely have the result of the plan laid down. Test result of the plant are laid down in the ship's international sewage pollution prevention. The effluent shall not be the. Okay, that's it. Politics is the okay. Arrangement. Okay. So first of all, there is a food discharge, cargo residue from with wash water, cargo residue without wash water, then cleaning agents and additives from hold water, from hold, and from deck area, from open surface area. So open deck surface area need not to have, they are permitted in both, and additives are normally permitted in this one, like, but it's only okay. Now cargo residue containing fresh water, like they have to follow condition 2. Okay, so this is all about. So coming to the point of areas where so it has a Caribbean area which is not there in, only Caribbean area is not included in Annex 1 special area, rest everything is a part of that only. Like we have yes, Gulf area is not included, northwestern European waters, and Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Baltic Sea, Four happened, right? Four. One Caribbean region. Five. Six to seven. Only two left now. Might be a northwestern European waters and sorry, Gulf area is there, yeah. Gulf area and Antarctic area. Gulf area, Antarctic area. Antarctic area, I'm missing in three of them. They are having annex 1, 2, 3. It's common everywhere. Antarctic area, Mediterranean Sea, Red Sea, Northwest European waters, Gulf area, okay, and Caribbean waters. What is rule for collection? Basically, every ship of 100 tonnage and every ship 15% should have a garbage record book. Collection, processing, and okay, entries, position, and everything. Particular sea sensitive area. Particular sea sensitive area are the area which are recognized by the IMO for their socio-economic and ecological and scientific reasons, which can easily harm by the pollutions. So yeah, they are kept in this. So overall definition is particular sensitive sea area is a special zone recognized by IMO for its ecological, social, and scientific importance. These areas may be easily harmed by international maritime activities. Example include the name is Great Barrier Reef, Malpelo Island. Great Barrier Reef is in Australia, I guess. Great Barrier Reef, Malpelo Island, Papua New Guinea, and Malpelo Island, and then Great Barrier Reef. Then Western European water, Canary Islands, Spain. Canary Islands, Spain. Jamaica Entrance, Malpelo Island, Colombia. Okay. Great Barrier Reef, Australia, Malpelo Island, Colombia. Okay. Canary Island. So this is all about. Food West A. Color coding is from company to company. So what else? So what is VOC? Now volatile organic compound. VOC plan is basically for the emissions control of the VOC compound, volatile organic compound. It's such that it has a proper procedure for how to you tackle, you lower down the volatile organic emissions. It says that whatever during the time of loading, at low pressure a lot of emission take place. So we have to reduce the loading as soon as possible. It directly comes from the manifold to the tank, so as to reduce the velocity in pipes and emissions. Secondly, a fixed high pressure which has to be maintained during throughout the loading operation is to be decided before the operations, so which will be maintained. And during the time of operation, if there is any exert pressure is in the tank, so during the time of releasing, do not release too much, release slowly, and do not put IG more to increase the pressure, because at this time it will increase the ventilation, that emission more, so more VOC will go in environment, so no need of adding more IG in that. So this we have to follow in VOC. Now how we will be saying it, like the loading procedure should take into account like due to the low pressure, and where possible the routing of from cone manifold into tank should be done so as to avoid or minimize the excess throttling word we have to use, and high flow velocity in pipe. The loading pressure should take into account potential gas releases due to low pressure, and where possible the routing from crude oil manifold into once again the loading procedure should take into account potential gas due to the low pressure, where possible the routing of oil from crude oil manifold into the tank should be done so as to avoid or minimize excessive throttling and high flow velocity in pipes. The ship should define a target operation pressure for the cargo tanks. The pressure should be as high as safely possible, and the ship should aim to maintain tanks at drills level during the loading and carriage of relevant cargo. The ship should define a target operating pressure for the cargo. The ship
should define a target operating pressure for the cargo tank. This pressure should be as high as safe, okay, as high as safely possible, and ship should aim to maintain the tank this level during the loading and carriage of relevant cargo. When venting to reduce tank pressure is required, the decrease in the pressure in the tank should be as small as possible to taking pressure as high as possible. The amount of inert gas should not be minimized because increasing the tank pressure by VOC release may be preventing that. When crude oil washing is considered, so its effect on VOC emission should take into account VOC emission can reduce by shortening the duration of by of this point I have missed. So you have to take account of the crude oil washing as well by using closed cycles the crude oil washing. So how the question will be, what is the objective of volatile organic compound? Organic volatile is a compound that have the high evaporation, low, this I have to told, very high pressure and low solubility. In example, formalin, toluene, acetone, isopropyl alcohol. Marpol 6 require that every crude oil is carried equipped with VOC management plan. This plan is to provide guidance on management of volatile organic plan is present with the IMO regulation. The VOC is a specific provide written procedure for VOC during the condition of loading of cargo, seaplanes and discharge of cargo. While maintaining safety of ship, the VOC management should encourage and set forth the following best management. Okay. Now what is ship energy efficiency plan? Ship energy efficiency plan is basically for the reduction of the greenhouse effect gases and carbon emissions. So basically it has sets an EEDI, basically energy efficiency design index for the newly constructed ship, so which like easy to maintain that index, and for the reduction of carbon emissions in environment, and basically it also increases the efficiency of the ship by reducing the reducing the consumption of your fuel, and apart from that it reduces the greenhouse effect emission as well. And we have EEXI is led for the existing ships, energy efficiency for the existing ship, like they have to maintain this minimum requirement for them also to for the carbon emissions, and all this the actual emissions which all cost carbon indicator index has been reported. This is the actual emission caused by the ship on an annual basis. It's a report which has to be given by the to be submitted to the authority, that is class or administration of flag state, where it will give a grade to the ship, whether A, B, C, D. If it's given A, then the plan which ship is following is good, and if it is not, like if given E, and this means like if then ship has to make amendment in their plan regarding this. EEOI is ships to monitor the control emissions. Is basically a tool to monitor provide a certain amount of CO2 emission. Now what is convention? Convention is basically a set of rules international convention are agreed with a number of countries which are member of the IMO feel that there is a need for a convention. Such countries meet together usually at the invitation of the IMO and discuss about various proposals and finally come to an agreement which is recorded in the form of a final act of conference. A convention is an agreed set of rules related to a particular matter, for example, safety of life at sea, and that's a fact. Then code is basically a part of a convention and is quoted with the convention, provides the technical aspects of the element which the convention is referring to. Now last, this most asked question, example of IMO codes. IGF code, Polar Code, International Code for Safety for Ships Using Gases or other than low flashy point fuels. Polar Code, International Code for Ships Operating in Polar Water. Now, the regulation and enforced by the convention are required to be amended frequently from time to time to with the rapid evolving technology in the shipping world. Now, what is protocol? Protocol, when a major amendment is to be incorporated on regulation of the convention, a protocol is called among the countries who are signatory of the original convention when it was signed and approved, in which the act was passed was the convention, and in 1978 was passed through the protocol. Okay. No, this is all not Hong Kong Convention. So what is Hong Kong Convention? Basically, Hong Kong Convention was adopted in around 90s, but in no, 2015, I guess, or 2017. It was adopted in 2009. Yeah, way before ahead. But it still not came into force. It will came into force on 26 June 2025. It's basically a replacement for greenhouse effect, green passport. Basically, it comprises of the idea that whatever whenever vessel is going for a recycling, it has some dangerous cargo such as asbestosis and other substances, but because of which the person involved in recycling get hurt or get died because of this, or like they are not safe for the human beings and not for the even environment. So this convention says the arrangement and the constructions and mechanism for the recycling and during the time of like recycling of your ship, it should not be harmful and to the person and the environment. It should be done recycling done in a safe manner, in a safe way. So it basically intends to address all the issues around ships recycling, the fact that ships sold for scrapping may continue. Okay, and then you're gonna mention the design, construction, or preparation of ship so as to facilitate the safe environment. Okay. Now, what is a green passport? Basically, it's an inventory of all the cargo, hazardous cargo. Load line item basically says that it's basically for the determining the freeboard for which is safe for the vessel to sail in a particular zone. Now, how it's written there? In 1966, Load Line Convention adopted provisions are made for determining the freeboard of ships by subdivision and damage stability calculations. The regulation take into account the potential hazard present in the different zones and different seasons. The technical annex contains several additional safety measures concerning the doors, freeing ports, hatchways, and other items. The main purpose of these measures is to ensure the watertight integrity of the ship's hull below the freeboard deck. Okay, the regulation take into account the potential hazard present in different zone and different seasons. The regulation take into account the potential hazard present in different zone and different season. The technical annex contains several additional safety measures concerning the doors, freeing ports, hatchways for watertight integrity of the ship, all assigned a load line midship and all. The convention consists of basically 4 annexes. The first one is the freeboard arrangement for special ships for like timber cargo, and freeboard ships for normal, and for the general condition of assignment of freeboard and general. Annex 2 is covers the zone area and seasonal period. Annex 3 contains the certificate including the international load line certificate. Then connection 4 verification of the compliance with the provision of the annex. Now, what is UNCLOS? UNCLOS is nothing. Now, decline is horizontal line 300 by 25. Okay. Load line 300 by 25. Okay, load line. Okay. These are all easy. National Interconvention removal of Nairobi Convention. It was came in 2007. Okay, entry into force 2015, April 2015. Now this last one we have to remember. Like first, just remember what is the first one is general provisions, like regarding the survey and all. The next two is for the the construction for the stability and subdivisions and installation of machinery, and the part 2.2 consists of the fire detection, protection, and extinctions. Part 3 is for the life-saving appliances. Chapter 4 is for the radio communications. Chapter 5 is the safety of navigation. Chapter 6 is the carriage of cargo. Chapter 7 is the carriage of the dangerous cargoes. Chapter 8 for the nuclear ships. Chapter 9 is the for the international safety management services. And chapter 10 is for the chapter 10 is for high speed safety measures for high speed craft. Chapter 11 is for the measures for the safety and safety and measures for the security. 11.1, 11.2, and chapter 12 is for the additional safety measures for bulk carriers, and chapter 13 is the compliance and verifications, and chapter 14 is for the polar code, and chapter 15 is for the additional carriage of industrial personnel on board. The safety measure, I don't know what it's written, like safety measure for ships carrying industrial personnel on board, safety measures for ships operating in, verification of compliances, additional safety measures for bulk carriers, safety measures for high speed management. Management for safe operation of ships is the word. Management word, you have to remember the word management for safe operations of the ships. It consists of Annex 1 and Annex 2, where Annex 1 says the certificate and documents required to be carried on board. Annex 2, list of resolutions adopted by the SOLAS, which all is not valid. Warships, cruise ships, less than 500 ships propelled by not mechanical wings. Additional safety. Let's see. Now what is Polar Code? First of all, it comes into force into 2017. As per Polar Code, it basically sets the design and arrangement and equipment and the training and SAR training for the ships operating in polar region in north and south of the earth, where it says it's divided the class of ships in 3 category. The ships which are able to navigate the thickness of the ice is from 0.7 to 1.2 is classified as A, and which are able to navigate in a region of thickness of ice which is between 0.3 to 0.7 is B, and where it's kind of in open sea is C. So what is safety measure concept? What is the question? SOLAS regulation muster list. What all information consists in a muster list? Muster list basically has the information of the whatever action to be taken by each and every person, and it also comprises of the signal of various kind of signals, and it will the way of announcing, like the PA system which will be used for in general, and the signals for the abandoning ship, how it will be given, that all is to be included. The master shall specify the details of the general emergency alarm and public address system, and also action to be taken by crew and member with this alarm is sounded. The muster list shall also specify the order to abandon ship will be given. Now teams in muster list: command team, emergency team, support team, board problem. 70 stars is Now contents of chapter. STCW basically has for its contents such as for the general provisions, then for the master and deck department, Indian department, for the radio communication and radio operators, now for the special carriage ships, then for the emergency professions requirement, medical and all. So emergency security and alternative correct certification watchkeeping. So this is all about. It comprises of A and B. A is mandatory, B is recommended. Audit and inspection, load line survey, order certificate. Not an asked question. Details of life saving appliances. Form E and Form R is bullshit. Now preparation facility is more, I guess it's little bit important. For SCQ survey, just remember the thing which done by mostly by the third officer,
It's all included in SEQ survey only. SEQ survey says that uh, SEQ survey says that a lot work like LSA, FFA, LSA arrangements, appliances should be in proper working conditions, and FFA arrangement plans and all. FFA should be in proper working conditions, and all the documentation certificate should be properly surveyed. Should be in no kind of any due should be there. All the statutory and mandatory documents should be valid and should be renewed. And apart from that, all the all the load line items on board should be properly uh, properly arranged, and like for the all the watertight doors, watertight ventilation system should be having a proper rubber coating, rubber gasket and all, no kind of any perishable things. And apart from that, all the crew should be aware of their duty. Proper drill should be carried out and proper record should be maintained on board. And all the ISM things, like all the ISM products, ISM, all the ISM things to be in work. And your live bird should have been lowered in last 3 months. And let's see what I have mixed, what I have missed. So just read and you'll come to know what I have missed. So first of all instructions and notices included the emergency station muster list. Okay, so in alleyways, all the muster list, contingency plan, everything should be updated with the crew list. Okay. Appropriate language, all the other statutory certificate classes were valid. Okay, this I have told. Fire control plans properly posted, muster list, training and maintenance manual. Okay, training manual for LSA provided, training manuals for life saving. ACDIS in, okay, ACDIS is used instead of paper charts. Backup for ACDIS available like paper charts. Electronic nautical publications are carried. International code of signals. All bridge equipments found in order, and each lifeboat is required to be launched and maneuvered in at least once in every 3 months, except where this is not practicable in the case of free fall lifeboats. Uh, each lifeboat is right. Okay, renewal. Free fall. Okay. For free fall lifeboat, what is the requirement? Each lifeboat is being launched at least once in 3 months, except where there is not practical in case of free fall lifeboat, with the maximum interval between the free fall launches should not exceed 6 months. Okay, not exceeding 5 years. Renewals required. Each lifeboat found in good condition, fully or rescue boat. Okay. Now, what is statutory certificate, which is authorized by the government, compliance with national and international maritime law. Mandatory are required by the law, but are not required by the law, but not mandatory for international trading. Are not required by law. Sorry. What are the 5 main committee? So what are these committee are? The International Maritime Committee consists of assembly and 5 main committees. So Maritime Safety Committee, Maritime Environment Protection Committee, and Technical Committee, and another two one is Technical Cooperation Committee. Sorry, and the two is the Legal Committee and Facilitation Committee. 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 Okay. And it comprises of 175 members. 3 is the associate and 3 associate members. Okay. What are 4 plus? Okay, what are the functional requirement of ISM?
So the functional requirement is such that first is for the environmental protection as a policy, and the second one is the reporting policy in case of any accident or non-compliances, and third one is the link between the ship and shore for communication between the ship and shore, and the fourth one is the emergency in case of any like preparedness emergency. In emergency for basically deals with the drills and all, like every person on board are procedure to prepare for respond to emergency, procedure for internal audits and management. So the last one, sixth one, is procedure for internal audits and management review. Okay, procedures for internal audits and management reviews. Procedures for internal audits and management reviews. Procedures for internal audits and management reviews. Procedure for internal audits and management reviews. Procedures for internal audits and management reviews. Procedures for internal audits and management reviews. Procedure 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 for internal audit and management reviews. 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 Procedure for internal audits and management reviews. Okay. Safety management policies, instruction and procedure to ensure the safety and protection and compliance with and defined. Second one is instruction to ensure the safe operation of the and protection in compliance with relevant and flexible defined levels of authority. Okay. Communication between the procedure for reporting accidents. Okay, second one is for the procedures of safe operation and all. Then the line of communication, reporting accidents, and prepare for any respond and emergency. Then the last one is internal audit and management reviews. Whether internal safety management. Okay. Assessment of everything is like what are the audits. So frequency effective should not be conducted. Okay, 3 months. Okay, now we will at least know the title of MLC. So first title is requirement for the seafarers, and second one is the condition of employment. Third one is for the one, I guess, is for the medical and accommodation, food and recreational facility, and the fourth one is for the for the what do you say, for the medical care, health facility and social services and all, and the last one is the compliances. So minimum requirements to work on ship, condition of employment, accommodation, recreational facilities, food and catering. Okay, health protection, medical care, welfare and social security protection, and compliance and enforcement. Okay, so all this now we are talking on. Now the latest question, that is about the framing. This is one important question. What is framing? So framing, what is framing? So framing, as the word suggests, framing. Okay, so basically framing is for the support of the skin, basically support of the shell plating of your ship. It can be a longitudinal or it can be a transverse as well. So just like your side shell is protected by a transverse framing, and these framings can be vertical and should be spaced around 760 mm from each other. I'm talking about the ship side, and a minimum width of it's a bulb angle which supports the side shell, and vertical, it's kind of a stiffening, and this joins to the upper deck plating, and to the bottom it connects to your margin in a two side bracket
side stiffened, and longitudinally you can longitudinal you can consider girder as one of the stiffeners, or a longitudinal what we say framing for your deck platings and all. And for transfers you can consider they are running along the breadth of the ship, and you can consider deck beams, and they are supported by the deck knees and all. So I think what I'm saying is not that much correct, but we'll think about it. We'll read the okay. And so what is actually is all about? So it says that the side shell is supported by frames which run vertically from tank margin to the upper deck. These are usually of angle section which are spaced about 760 mm apart in the form of bulb angle. The length of frames is usually broken at decks, allowing smaller section to be used in the twin deck spaces. The length of the frame is usually broken at decks, allowing smaller sections to be used in twin deck spaces. The hold frames are of a larger section, typically 300 mm bulb angle or a plate. They are connected at the tank margin by two flange tank side brackets by two tank side bracket by two tank side bracket The side sail is supported by frames which can run vertically from tank margin to the upper deck. They are usually of angle section which are spaced about 760 mm apart in the form of bulb angle. The length of frame is usually broken at decks, allowing more section to be used in the twin decks. The whole frames are of a larger section, typically 300 bulb angle. They are okay. So now we are talking about the longitudinal framing. It runs longitudinal, which along the length of the ship. It is usually ship with a length greater than 70 meters. Transverse webs are fitted to support transverse web. We have to use the word in longitudinal. Transverse webs are fitted to support the side longitudinal, which space not exceeding 3.8 meter apart in ship of 100 meter or less. An important feature of longitudinal framing is that the community of strength is maintained, and in transverse fitting system may be found in ship less than 70 meter in length. Transverse framing are stiffeners running along the breadth of the ship. Mixed longitudinal transverse. A purely longitudinal frame ship is strong in the longitudinal direction, while a transverse frame ship has tremendous transverse strength. Combined framing ships have the advantage of both longitudinal and transverse framing system. In this type of framing system, the vessel is longitudinally framed under the decks and on bottom plating. Side plating is transverse frame and district. Side shell plating. Bottom shell plating. Bottom shell plating is the shell plating on the bottom part of the ship, forming the watertight skin of the ship's bottom. Okay, garboard stay. Okay. No. What is corrugated bulkhead? Fuck. This bulkhead, it's considered that corrugated bulkhead is a preferred structural condition for lower mass, easier maintenance, and smaller corrosion problems. Okay. Percentage. This is the first one unbalanced. The leading edge is directly facing the right is connected to the and unbalanced. The steering gear has to provide all the turning torque. Entire blade are behind. Okay, entire. Then 20 to 40 and 20. Okay, 20 to 100 and 40. Okay, diameter pitch right handed. Okay. So this is all about
Striller plate. What is coffin plate? The plate joining two side plates over the keel of a vessel at the stern, which is in plain view, creates a shape similar to a coffin lid. Okay. Now, shoe plate used to connect the stern to the plate keel. Stranger plate. Okay. Shoe plate used to connect stem to the flat plate keel. Okay. Now, yes, I've covered everything here. So this is all about then be steering force, margin line, stringer plate, shoe plate, strike plate. So just reading about this one was it is about that. Okay, intake stability we have to complete here. Intake stability today itself. So that's it.